Let's get into some shite. How you doing, folks? Welcome to the Out of Tune podcast, the last one of the year. And who knows, the way things go, it could be the last one ever. I can't predict the future. We don't know. There's going to be some kind of Armageddon, some kind of apocalypse. You know, remember this podcast used to be apocalyptic. It isn't anymore. Did you know that? Are you new? Are you, have you just took a break and then come back and you're like, what is this Out of Tune podcast? I don't know what, we changed. Things change. Things move. Things change. We'll talk a little bit about how things change, but how are you? You know, we're done with Christmas. Christmas went fast, it seemed like, I feel like. And, here we are just a couple days after Christmas. I went to not Christmas, but I went to Target. I had to pick up some stuff. Went to Target right after Christmas, and there was like no Christmas music. It's almost like people just deny it that they even did it. They don't want you. They don't want you to remember that they even thought about celebrating Christmas. But I went in, and all the music was just normal music. And nothing to remind you really that it was Christmas had come and gone. They want to get on with the next one. You can even find like Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day stuff there. They're like, yeah, no, Christmas? Well, that was a long time ago. I always say like the day after Christmas is like looking at porn right after sex. You're like, no, let's wait a while. I don't want to see that. No, close that up. Yeah, it's just, you just don't, I don't know. You just don't want to do it. There are other things you want to think about. Christmas is done. You spend all your time doing that, right? We have a listener line here. You can participate in the show, 678-348-0008. That's 3 zeros in a row and then an 8. And you can call that number, you can text that number, and when you do, you can automatically participate in the show. I will read, I will play. See, it's a recording. If you call, you could just comment, leave a comment, your opinion about anything. Tell me what you got for Christmas. Don't care. Whatever you want to do. It's your line. Or text it if you're a little shy. You don't want your voice on the air. Just text it. You can also send me an email, rick@outoftune.com. That's OUTTATOON. And then we're at outoftune.com. You can find us there. We're on Facebook, all the social media fun stuff. Hang out with us, please. I'd like to know who you are. I'd like to know if you listen. I love it when people drop me lines and just comment on the show. It's always fun. Got a nice this week. David sent me I listen every week. I like to say people don't listen to the show. I know some people do. A few, not a ton, but a few people do, and I do appreciate it. Let me see what happened. Let's talk really quick about our Christmas schedule. Now, obviously, this was supposed to happen before Christmas, and it didn't. I was going to do it Christmas Eve. Didn't do that. Family. Just Christmas, I couldn't get into the studio and set up and do it. I can't say I was feeling 100% this week. Had a little, I don't know, just kind of feeling a little under the weather. So all of the things piled up. I couldn't get up here. And, but I wanted to do this one. Now, this will be the last of the year. I'll do the next one. I think the first week, let's say Thursday or Friday of January, right? Because I'm going to be out of town. My wife and I are going to go do a little getaway thing. That'll be fun, right? Got a house sitter to come in and look. They're gonna sit on the house. They're gonna take care of pets. Probably eat food, which is fine. That's a good thing to do if you got somebody who could do that. So we're going to kind of get away. So that I'm sure I'll have some stories to tell. I'll have some things to talk about when we get back. Hope you will as well. But so let's just say for a week we won't even speak. We'll pretend like we don't even know each other. But back, I would say Thursday, Friday. If something happens and I'm not able to do it then, we'll get back on schedule on Monday. But I'm going to say Friday. Let's do a Friday show, Thursday or Friday show. Okay. This one is a little bit late, but I'm glad I got it squeaked in just a few days before the holidays. How was your Christmas? Did you get the things that you want? Did you get anything? Did you do the getting? I like not doing the getting, but I did get a few things this year, and I was happy about it. I got. Let me just say, there's a lot of people that's like, don't get me anything. Don't. If you're thinking of getting me anything, don't. I don't want anything. That's kind of a selfish attitude, I got to say, because some people, they're if you know anything about love languages, some people's love languages is gift giving. That's how they show that they appreciate. That's how people show gratitude. If they want to say thank you, they give things. And if you're clogging that up, if you're not letting people show gratitude, show you how much they love you, how much they like you, how much they care for you, that's a problem. Now, I understand, because I used to do the same thing. I was just like, you don't feel obligated to get me anything. And a lot of times I'll say with that, because I'm not getting you anything. But to be able to just to say, don't, I refuse it, I think that could be a little bit of a problem. Let people be who they are. Let them, if that's their gift, if giving is their gift, let them do it. And be appreciative. Let them show gratitude, because then you come off as being very selfish if you say, I'm not going. Let's just say, what is your gift? Let's say your gift is helping people, and you want to help somebody, and says, get away from me, don't help me. And you feel like somebody's like insulted you, right? You've got your gift. So don't clog it up. Just let people do what they need to do. Just be gracious if someone does something. No one wants to feel like that they have to do it, right? Okay. I ordered a gift for my wife, and I ordered it like, I don't know, almost 3 weeks before Christmas. Now, this was a Facebook ad. I don't like buying things off Facebook ads for a couple of reasons. First of all, when you do, it just shows up a million more times. Like, if I needed to get more than that, I would have ordered more than that, all right? You don't have to keep showing me the ad. I know about it. I just bought it. But they do that. And so that was one thing. I just don't like buying stuff online because I don't want to have to see it 50 million times. And the other thing, it's like a reward. It's just like, you've shown the ad, I bought it, and now they're going to see, it works. The ads work. I don't want them to know that, because then they have to keep showing it to me over and over. But this seemed like something that was kind of interesting. It's a little personal thing. You could kind of design it the way you wanted it for your spouse or anybody, really. It could be anybody in your friends or whatever. And then they customize it, and then they ship it to you. So I ordered it like 3 weeks before Christmas. I figured, there's nothing on the site anywhere that even hinted that it was coming to me from China. So I didn't know this. I thought there's plenty of time for it to get to me. And I ordered it, and they were just like, it's on its way, it's shipped. And I was like, awesome, it's going to get here fast. I got an email, I don't know, maybe a week. I got an email a week before saying it's on its way. And I was like, okay, it's a little tight, but I got it. All right. And then I followed the shipping, and then I realized, it's coming from China. And it did. It came from China. It kept having these delays. At one point, it was here in Atlanta, and so I figured the next day it was going to be in my mailbox. The next day it said it was in Arizona. And then the next day it says back to Atlanta. I don't know if it actually made the trip or if that was just some kind of a weird thing. But anyway, all of that time, It didn't get here until the day after Christmas. Now, that kind of sucked. I feel like there should be some kind of I don't know, how do you make a law? But there should be a law that you should be informed where your product is coming from. They should tell you if it's coming from international so you can plan on it. Fortunately, I had other gifts lined up, so this did ruin Christmas. It was a cool little gift, though. I wish it had gotten here on time. So I got to be more careful. I don't know about the Facebook ad gifts. Here's another gift that I ordered. Now, let me tell you, this is a thing. I'm just kind of some information that I'm giving you. I bought a gift for myself. Okay, this started showing up on my Facebook feed, and I ignored it for a while. I think it's geared towards people who chew and dip tobacco, and which I don't. I never really have. I've tried it a couple times when I was young and thought it might be cool. And I realized throwing up is not cool, so I stopped doing it. But way back in the 80s, when I was in high school, it was a cool thing to have a little ring around your back pocket. Do you remember that? Are you old enough to remember the ring in your back pocket? That was a status thing. I carried Skull, Copenhagen, whatever it was, in my back pocket just to get the ring, because everybody had to have the ring in your back pocket. There's a couple of people right now shaking their heads. They know. They're my age. They went to school during that time. Anyway, this is a product kind of geared towards people who do that, and I don't, but I think it's for people who are trying to get off of that. Now, here's what it is. Now, this is a product that I think started on Shark Tank, which I've never watched. I know what it is. It's where people who are trying to start a business and they go and beg for money from rich people who like to see them grovel. And I think this started there. And this company started for people, they say, to try to get people off of the dipping the tobacco. And they make pouches, little pouches. You can buy like the Skull, the tobacco, in the little pouches, and you stick that pouch in your lip down in between your cheek and gum or whatever it is, and then you spit, and it's really cool because you get to carry a cup of spit around all the time. Am I grossing you out? Sorry. That was my high school years. I remember it well. I had friends when I was in college. I had friends. You had a friend that always had that cup, and they would put it down, and you would accidentally kick it over. I had that friend. I had a couple of them. That's disgusting. Anyway, so this is not like that, though. This is a little pouch, exactly. It seems like it. But in that pouch is coffee. You heard me. Coffee. Not tobacco. Coffee. What does it taste like? Oh, man. Listen. Might be one of the best things I've bought for myself. The idea is you take this little tiny pouch. It's a really small pouch. It'll fit right down in your gum. And it's a pouch full of coffee. You put it in just like you do the Skull. If you've ever dipped Skull, it's the same thing. Put it in your cheek, in your gum, whatever. And then it brews coffee in your mouth. You're sitting there with coffee brewing in your mouth for like an hour. It's awesome. So I got 4 flavors. Man, is it tasty. It's good. I knew potentially that it could be good. I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was. So you take it, you put it in there, and you like a few minutes after you stick it in there, and your juices start flowing, everything's going well. You start tasting that coffee. Got a little sweetness to it. So I got 4 flavors. What you do is you buy it in like a package deal. I think 4 in a package is the smallest you can go, but you can go up to like 16 or more if you want to. I got 4 flavors. My flavors were cinnamon roll coffee. That was really good. I got, oh man, now watch me forget what I got. I got peppermint. Now, peppermint tastes to me like Skull. I think that's the one that they really geared toward the tobacco people. So it's better tasting than Skull, I have to tell you that. It tastes like coffee, but it's got that kind of wintergreen peppermint taste. I got Kentucky bourbon, which was really good. Kentucky bourbon, and then I got Irish cream, which is also pretty good, but a little too sweet for me. Most of them I felt like leaned a little too much in the sweetness for my own taste. They could have backed off of all the sweetness and just done coffee, and I would have appreciated it. And I understand it, and I did like it. And I have plenty more to go. So I'm going to be brewing coffee in my mouth for quite some time. I have to say, if you like that kind of thing, do it. It is definitely worth it. This company is called Grinds. They are not a sponsor. I'm not getting paid to mention it. I'm only mentioning this because I liked it. It comes in a little round thing, just like the Skull, and you could put it in your back pocket and make a ring if you want, if that's something you still, if you're living in the past and you got to have a ring in your back pocket. Or I don't know, maybe that's status now. Maybe that's come back. I don't know if the kid's doing that. Anyway, do it. Just go look up Grinds and try it. All I'm saying is just try it. If you like coffee, try it. When I did it, I was afraid, this is going to turn my teeth brown, or I'm going to smile. Like, when you have wine and everything turns purple in your mouth. Not that at all. Now, I'm not saying my teeth aren't going to, if I do all of this, my teeth aren't going to look like Shane McGowan. I don't know. R.I.P. Shane. Sorry. But I didn't either. You can't tell. And I mean, I couldn't tell just looking in the mirror that I had anything in my mouth. I don't have it's not like a big, chaw of red man in your mouth. So I don't think people know. So if you're somewhere, if you're like at a business meeting or something and you want a little coffee, but you can't have your coffee there, you're somewhere that you can't take coffee inside. If you're on an airplane, I don't know. You're not allowed to have liquids around. Just pop one of these in your mouth. No one will know but you, and it's great, and it lasts about an hour, and it's worth it. Each package, I don't know, comes with like 20 packets or something, each little round thing, and they're like $6. Nothing. So anyway, look them up, Grinds, and tell me if you like it, because I do. I'm going to have more later. What else happened? I got a lot of good stuff for Christmas that I enjoyed. My wife gave me a few things, and here's my favorite thing for Christmas. I don't know, this is not really a Christmas present, but favorite thing that happened. If you've listened to the podcast for some time, if you've listened to the past podcast, Sherry, who did a podcast with me, Life in a Kill podcast, and This Epic Disaster. We did those podcasts together for years, for a long time, and then we had a big blow up that happened. Not going to go into details, personal stuff, but it was nastier than I thought it was going to be, and we have not spoken in a year and a half. Now, we were best friends, basically, and this blow up happened, and we didn't even speak for a year and a half, nothing. So a couple weeks ago, some things kind of happened, and there was some reaching out and saying hi and trying to be cordial, and then it quit. It was just like, nah, we don't need to do this. That's not going to work. And then it just kind of died. Nothing. So I gave up. I just thought, all right, well, I guess that's it. Nothing's going to come of this. And just sort of wrote it off. And then Christmas Day, knock on my door, opened up, and it's Sherry standing outside. Came inside, stayed for a couple hours. First time we've seen each other, first time we've spoken in a year and a half. And I was extremely happy to have it happen. So I feel like it's positive. That's positive, right? If you're friends, if you can kind of reconnect with a friend, that's a good thing. So I was real happy about it, and we are going. We did not pound out the problems that we have. We didn't even really talk much about them. We just kind of caught up a little bit. I think the fact that we're willing to look at that is a good thing. And that's something we both kind of said after the first of the year. We're going to get together and see if we can work this out. I think we can, but I don't know. Grown-ups, a lot of ego there from each other. Just your stuff, my stuff. I'm right, you're wrong, I'm right, whatever. It's crazy stuff. But I sometimes friendship, it always kind of comes back, right? Maybe if nobody hurt anybody really bad that I know of. I'll find out if we did. We're gonna talk. So I think that's a good thing. That was one of my favorite things that happened at Christmas. Is getting to see Sherry again after quite a while. All right, what else is going on here? I'm gonna need to wrap it up really, really soon. I will say, if you forgot, we got stickers for the show, and they're free. All you got to do, let's just tag the show on your social media, repost it, and let people know you listen. You just put hey, check this podcast out or whatever. And then once you do that, send me an email with your mailing address so I can send you some stickers. And that's all I need it for. I'm not going to put you on any kind of list or anything. You'll never hear from me again mailing stuff to you. I will just send you stickers. And so do that because they're ready. I got these. Oh, man, they look great. And you can get them for free. What I want to do right now is talk to you about let's talk about history, all right? Because everybody knows December 25th is Christmas Day. Jesus was born on Christmas. He wasn't really. They say he was born. I don't know. Some people say he was born in the summer. But in Catholicism, they moved the birthday to December 25th to coincide with the winter solstice celebrations because they wanted to try to take away everyone's fun. But there's a lot of days between Christmas and New Year's, right? So let's talk about what happened on those days historically, all right? They're kind of interesting. There's some interesting stuff that happened. So December 26th, which is over, but you do need to know, in 1811, a theater fire in Richmond, Virginia killed 72 people on December 26th, including the governor of Virginia, George William Smith, and the president of the First National Bank of Virginia, Abraham B. Venable. Man, and here's what I found out. A lot of people died in fires in theaters. And that's where I guess it comes from, was is it okay to yell fire in a crowded theater? Back then, that was a thing. That was an interesting joke because now the theaters aren't that crowded. I've seen a lot of movies, but back then, that was the place to go. Packed it out. 1862, the largest mass hanging in U.S. history took place in Mankato, Minnesota, where 38 Native Americans died. Mass hanging. Look at that history. I'll bet you there's some shady stuff going on there. I don't know. Don't know for sure. 1941, U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt signs a bill establishing the fourth Thursday in November as Thanksgiving Day in the United States. Happened on December 26th. 1963, the Beatles' I Want to Hold Your Hand and I Saw Her Standing There are released in the United States, making the beginning of Beatlemania on an international level. That happened in 63. I was a year old. Don't remember it. Okay. December 27th. Historically, these are the things that happened on December 20. Some of the things that happened on December 27th. 1831, Charles Darwin embarks on his journey aboard HMS Beagle, during which he will begin to formulate his theory of evolution. just a theory, folks. All right. 1845. Ether anesthetic. That's hard to say. Try it. Ether anesthetic is used for childbirth for the first time by Dr. Crawford Long in Jefferson, Georgia. I don't know what they did before that. It hurt. Probably a lot of whiskey, maybe. 1935, Regina Jonas is ordained as the first female rabbi in the history of Judaism. 1935. 1978, Spain becomes a democracy after 40 years of fascist dictatorship. And in 2007, former Pakistani Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto is assassinated in a shooting incident. A lot of assassinations happen in December. Also, a lot of plane crashes, I noticed, happen in December, especially in the 70s. All right, December 28th, 1846. Iowa is admitted as the 29th U.S. state. Did you know that? The 28th of December, if you're from Iowa, I bet you do. All right, 1912, the first municipally, it's hard to say too, owned streetcars take to the streets of San Francisco. What if Carl Malden was driving one? Look it up. Google it, young people. 1958, the greatest game ever played. The Baltimore Colts defeated the New York Giants in the first ever National Football League sudden death overtime game at New York's Yankee Stadium to win the NFL championship. 58. I wasn't even born. I don't remember it. 1973, United States Endangered Species Act was signed into law by President Richard Nixon. Speaking of endangered species, Nixon, endangered. All right, December 29th, in 1170, Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury, is assassinated inside Canterbury Cathedral by followers of King Henry II. Ticked off King Henry. He subsequently becomes a saint and martyr in the Anglican Communion and the Catholic Church. Thomas Becket. All right. 1845, the United States annexes the Republic of Texas and admits it as the 28th state. Did you know that? It just annexed it. It's like, we'll take Texas. It's like a kickball game when you're in elementary school. 1876, the Ashtabula River railroad disaster occurred, leaving 64 injured and 92 people dead in Ashtabula, Ohio. 1890, on Pine Ridge Indian Reservation, 300 Lakota are killed by the United States 7th Cavalry Regiment. 300. 1937, the Irish Free State is replaced by a new state called Ireland with the adoption of a new constitution. And in 2003, the last known speaker of Akala Sami dies, rendering the language extinct. Could you imagine the last couple of years and nobody spoke? The person had nobody to talk to. I don't know, just like be lonely. No wonder they died. All right, December 30th, 1813, the War of 1812. What? Shouldn't it be the War of 1813? No, it's the War of 1812, and British soldiers burned Buffalo, New York, creating the first buffalo wings. That's a fact. 1903, a fire at the Iroquois Theater in Chicago, Illinois, kills at least 605 people. What? A theater fire kills 605 people. Holy crap. 1922, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, also known as the USSR, is formed. And 2006, former president of Iraq, Saddam Hussein, is executed. Remember that? I do. I didn't do it, but I remember it. All right. 2013, guess what? More than 100 people are killed when anti-government forces attack key buildings in Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of the Congo. Somehow I don't even remember that one. All right, December 31st, last one. A lot of stuff happened on December 31st. I don't know what it is. It's like, we got to get some stuff in really quick before the year's up. But there's a lot of events, all right? 1796, the incorporation of Baltimore as a city. What was that? It was the little Baltimore thing. Baltimore as a city in 1796 happened. All right, in 1862. This is part of the American Civil War. Abraham Lincoln signs an act that admits West Virginia to the Union, thus dividing Virginia in two. That was my rip noise. A little impersonation I like to do. All right, 1879, Thomas Edison demonstrates incandescent lighting to the public for the first time in Menlo Park, New Jersey. I don't know what did he plug it in? How did did they have power? I don't know how that worked. 1907, the first ever ball drop in Times Square. 1907, so it's been going on for a long time. All right, 1946, President Harry S. Truman officially proclaims the end of hostilities in World War II. 46. 1955, General Motors becomes the first U.S. corporation to make over $1 billion in a year. That was just in 55. Now the companies are making like billions and billions and billions. They're like the CEOs are making $1 billion now. 1983, the AT&T Bell system is broken up by the United States government. 1999, oh, guess what? We partied like it was 1999, but also the first president of Russia, Boris Yeltsin. Remember Bor? Yeah. He resigned from office, leaving Prime Minister Vladimir Putin as the acting president and successor. He's still in there. Not going to say anything about him because I don't want to be poisoned. I'm not saying Putin does it. Look. Don't go off thinking that I said anything. All right? Jeez. 2009, both a blue moon and a lunar eclipse occurred. That'd been cool. 2010, tornadoes touched down in Midwestern and southern United States. 36 tornadoes touched down, resulting in the deaths of 9 people and 113 million in damage. See, that's the interesting thing. 36 tornadoes touched down and 9 people died. That's pretty amazing. I think that shows how well we've gotten to where we can kind of prepare ourselves toward tornado. I mean, I feel bad for those 9 people, but $113 million of damage, but only 9 people. Cool. And then finally, in 2019, the World Health Organization is informed of cases of pneumonia with an unknown cause detected in Wuhan. Oh, you know where this is going. This later turned out to be COVID-19, the cause of the COVID-19 pandemic. That only happened in 2019, COVID-19. Remember that song? 19. Young people, Google it. Look it up. It's a decent song. That's all I got to talk about. All right. Well, folks, people, I can't thank you enough for listening to this nonsense for a year. We've been doing it for a little while, and I appreciate you kind of hanging out with me. I'm hoping to kind of make the show better, retool it. You're always welcome to give me hints. Tell me what you think of it. We're not going to think a lot on this podcast. It's just to have fun, right? Whatever I can do to have fun, and hopefully got to have some guests, more guests. Been talking to some people about being a guest, and just kind of have a little bit of entertainment, right? And I appreciate you guys popping in, sticking with me, ordering stickers, buying some merch if you can. That always helps. All you got to do is go to outatune.com. There's some cool t-shirts up there. Thanks to the people who have they're wearing them now, and I appreciate it. But most of all, just thanks for being you and for supporting me, right? Okay. I guess that's it. I hope you had a good 2023 and you have a really good 2024. I'll see you then, okay?